So good morning, good afternoon or good evening whenever you are watching this, and welcome to the Down the Lane podcast. Tonight I'm joined by Bobbie Randall, Miles Rees, and we have a special guest in former captain, player, manager, many other things, Brad Barry. Evening, Brad.
How are we? Are you okay?
Yeah, all good, thank you. So we're going to start off, we talk about Maidstone last night, a big 3-1 win at home, especially against Maidstone, a team that are up there. 4 points in 6, including the one we got against Enfield. Bobbie, what did you think last night?
We won a game. We're actually all happy for once. We're all happy for once on the podcast. No, literally, Joe's obviously watching, but Joe said it last Saturday that he was confident in us winning on Saturday, and I said there was on Tuesday. Sorry, and I said there was my confidence was in the bin, but he proved me wrong, and we won. So I think hats off to the lads. They earned it. I think they've huffed and they puffed, and we finally got what we deserved. We started off it kicked off for the first 5 minutes. I thought we looked very good, and then pretty much they scored their first shot of the game, and then we didn't really do a lot. To be fair, I mean, our only notorious chance sort of came right about 25 minutes in as George trying to lob their goalkeeper and just put one of the post, and then obviously just before the time whistle, Adam May had an open goal, and it hit the goalkeeper on the arm and didn't go in the back of the net, and then all sorts happened, and then second half we just looked like a different team. George obviously got his customary goal against Maidstone, and that put us back at 1-1, and then he got another one to make it 2-1, and then we hit the post with Archie Taylor. That thought that should have been a goal, but then yet again their goalkeeper looked like a liability all game. I thought ran out, missed the ball, and Kai Corbett tapped home into an empty goal, and that was pretty much. I thought that was some of the best football we've played after the 6-0 win against Hampton. Obviously now we're 2 unbeaten at home. Obviously draw against Enfield and a win last night. No, but my thoughts is that's got to kick us into gear now. This is a very, very tough month, and we know what position we could be come the end of this month. But it would be nice at the end of the month that we can start saying, oh, we're going to stay up here, or we might stay up. So I'm happy that we won. You boys?
Definitely happy, and I think I fancied that we would win last night, to be fair. And when you look at the last 3 games, the Farnborough, we was 1-0 up and got beat 2-1. Enfield 1 up and draw 1-1. If we'd have won either of them games, I think that gives us a little bit of confidence, but it doesn't give us anywhere near the confidence that win gave us last night. And we are going into a really hard month this month. We know that. We've been talking about it for 2 or 3 weeks. And I just think that to beat Maidstone, and not only to beat them, but to beat them in basically 45 minutes and turn the game, because I didn't think we were. I mean, Maidstone scored, like you say, with their first attack, and really probably their only really threatening attack in the first half that looked really, really dangerous. Like you said, Bobbie, we had the one that hit the post and then rolled along the line, and you do start thinking. I was sitting in the stands watching in the first half, and you do start thinking, oh, this is just how our luck's going. It's not going to turn. But the second half turned it, and 45 minutes basically we beat Maidstone 3-0. And they're not a bad Maidstone side. They've got some decent players there, and I just think that the confidence that will give the lads. Not only that they've beaten the team, but that they can go in at half-time 1-0 down and come out and do what we've done recently, which is lose a lead. They've turned it, like Tommy said in his interview last night. Miles, your thoughts?
Yeah, similar to you boys, but it was excellent to see us have the fight back after being 1 down at the break. We've had a lot of games this season where we've been 1 up at half-time and we've let it slip. So maybe the formula is just concede, and then we'll hopefully turn it around. But yeah, second half was really, really, really great performance, and I think Tommy said it in his interview as well. Like, we won so many more duels all over the pitch. Like, you look at, for example, Archie Taylor. I was pretty harsh on him in the first half, and maybe rightly so, because he just gave the ball away and looked quite off it, generally on the right hand side. But he was a different player second half. I'm not really sure what got into him at half time, but yeah, he came out really bright. As Bob said, could have scored. He got the assist off George's second goal. And yeah, it was a really good performance from Archie in the second half. Like, it was nice to see him sort of really kick on to, I think, the standard we know he can play at, being, you know, a sort of National League former player of Aldershot. So yeah, it was an excellent shift from the boys. And I thought one thing was particularly pleasing as well was the strength and depth we had on the bench. When you look at the subs, like, you're able to bring Kai on, who obviously scored. I thought Dan did very well considering he'd only played, was his first appearance back, isn't it, since his injury, and I thought he didn't look out of place at all for the last 20 minutes. And then we brought on Josh, who had a good impact. So yeah, really solid all round, and I was particularly impressed by the midfield in the second half. You know, May, Eastman, Burgess, I thought looked quite bright. Control things nicely for us. So yeah, it was just pleasing to get the lads to get something out of their efforts, because we've sort of puffed and puffed in the last few games, but haven't had the rewards for it. So it was good for them to have a smile on their face and get, you know, everyone sort of cheering them down the tunnel at full time.
Yeah, and I think talking of full time, there's a video that's going about. It's on the forum. It's been on Twitter, etc. And I have been asked a couple of questions about me having a laugh and a joke with the referee at the end of the game. I think, you know, we know what I'm like. I love giving a bit of banter, and obviously in the first half there was a penalty that, you know, a handball that was never a handball. But I had to tell the referee, just in case he didn't have a TV screen in the dressing room, that it was a handball and that he was useless. And I think I said a few other things to him, probably that I can't repeat tonight. But obviously at full time I told him it was never a handball. He knew that, and we had a laugh and a joke over the fact that I was just trying to maybe get a decision or two going forward. So yeah, that was good fun last night. Miles, on to Weston on Saturday. I'm not going and you're not going. Bobbie's leading the trail for us on the podcast. So what's your thoughts on Weston Saturday?
Yeah, so I think it's a weird one, Weston, on Saturday, because if you look at the table, they're in playoffs, they're in sixth place, but they've been fairly poor this calendar year so far. They've beat Farnborough on the 3rd of January and haven't won since. They got to the FA Cup third round playing Grimsby, and since then their sort of season started to derail a bit. They've had losses to Chelmsford, Hornchurch, amongst others. So I think it could be quite a good time to play them, particularly as we said there, sort of get the confidence into the lads after the Maidstone game. So yeah, I'm sort of hopeful that we can go and sort of upset them on Saturday. And we said it a couple of weeks back that obviously the games we had against Farnborough, Enfield, etc., were, you know, quote unquote must-win games, you know, against teams that are around the 6 pointers. But I think sometimes, I mean, Brad will know more about this than we would, but playing when you haven't got the expectation on you to go out there and win can sometimes be easier for a group of lads to go out there and perform. You know, when that pressure's on you, particularly at home, we've seen it where you sort of expect to win. That can have a sort of negative effect on the team. So, you know, going to Weston, going to their grounds, it's on the grass pitch, which has typically favoured us on the Tommy. When they're not on great form, we're not expected to win. I think it could be an upset on the cards, but maybe we're just getting too high off yesterday. But we've got to start turning one win into two, hopefully into three, and, you know, really get a bit of a run of games going. So yeah, I'm sort of slightly optimistic for it. I can't imagine he'll make too many changes in the sides he put out yesterday. I expect hopefully George to stay in the number 9 role. We've been crying out for it for the last month now. He's got to start a striker. Like, if you give him a chance, he's going to score goals. We've seen that from last night. So yeah, hopefully he keeps a sort of fairly similar team. Just a touch on the team yesterday as well was sort of weird, but sort of good to see Pip Blado back. It was really unexpected for him to be recalled. There was, as far as I'm aware, nothing on our social at all to say he was coming back, and he was just put in the lineup, and he was the cover on the lineup post. So yeah, good to have him back as another option on the left wing back role. So yeah, I'm sort of optimistic, but we know they're good sides. They're not sixth in the table for no reason, and they've sort of carried on under their new gaffer, whose name evades me. After Scott Bartlett got poached, I believe, by Eastleigh in about sort of the end of last year time. So, yeah, it'll be a tricky game, and fair play to anyone that's travelling. The sort of 8-hour round trip. I know there's a few that are going, so make yourself heard and back the lads.
Definitely, and I think, like you say, we do seem to do well on grass pitches, and Weston and Chesham, 2 games, Saturday, Tuesday, both on the grass pitch. I mean, we know Chesham's not an easy place to go, but I think you're right about George. George is very much a confidence player as well. I think there were times even last season when we was up near, up the top there, that when he was off, he was just that little bit off, and I think he works really well when he's got that little bit of confidence, probably like any goal scorer. And we just hope that hope that he can carry that on on Saturday down at Weston. So, Bobbie, your quick thoughts on Weston Saturday?
I will be there. My little Ford KA is making the lovely 400-mile round trip down there. But no, as Miles said, I'm a little bit confident that we can get something out of it. Obviously, we're playing a team who are similar form. Obviously, not 1 in 5. We hadn't won in how many? But no, I would like to go down there and come back with 3 points. So up sports.
We'll take a point though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. A point is a good result on Saturday.
Yeah,
massively. I think anything on Saturday, but if you can come back with 3, Bobbie, we would love that. So now, Brad, we're gonna sort of introduce you into tonight's podcast. Obviously, you've been down the club a few times this year, so we're going to ask you a few questions. But to start off with, tell us a little bit about Brad Barry before Eastbourne Borough and how and why you came to the club.
A little bit about me. Where was I? I think I was at Stevenage before I come to Borough. I was playing in League Two, and I was living in Hastings at the time as well. So I was actually doing the drive from Hastings to Stevenage every single day, and that took a toll on me. Which going over that Dartford Bridge is never fun for anyone. But I was doing it twice a day, every day. But then I got to a point. My daughter was about 1 year old, I think, around that time, and a bit of me was like, is it worth doing all this driving and getting home late? I'm only training for like an hour and a half, and I'm driving 5 hours a day. And then obviously Danny Bloor was in charge at that time, and obviously I've been in contact with Danny. You know what he's like? He's a right old character. He was calling me when I was at Barrow and stuff like that, and I was thinking, mate, how did you get my number? Like, I've just got promoted to League Two with him, and he'd ring me up saying, oh, you want to come down to Borough? Maybe I said, Danny, I've got a 2-year deal up here, mate. Like, I said, I'm not coming back for a while, but I kept in contact with him, and obviously with players like James Vaughan, he's a really, really good friend of mine, and he was probably the main link of me coming down to Borough. To be fair, he rang me up after the season when I was at Stevenage and just said, like, do you want to come down for training, like, just to keep yourself fit? I had options. I had loads of options in the National Prem, but for me, when I was living in Hastings, I said I just want to be at home, and I thought, do you know what, I'll go down there, see what it's like. It might not be for me. It might be one of those things, when you turn up and you just get a feeling of something where it's not quite right. But when I walked in, I was like loved straight away, which was kind of weird, innit? But obviously for a player like me, nobody knew who I really was. They knew where I'd been and stuff and what I'd done, but no one really cared, and I actually quite like that. And I was thinking, right, okay, I'm just being accepted just as another player to come along and train, which is actually quite a nice feeling, because you don't really have, like, everyone expects me to come in and make it all spectacular, and everything's be perfect. But I said to her, I'm not one of them players that are going to be doing 30, 40 step overs and banging it top bins and stuff like that. So that's not my type of player. I'm quite, well, you guys know me, you've watched me enough. I'm quite like rough and like to be aggressive in my play, and they kind of needed someone like that around, and that's when I just got involved, and then the board come in and spoke to me. I spoke to all them, like, Mr. Blackmore, I call him. He was with me. He was talking to me, and obviously they would always be on the coaches and stuff, which was weird for me as well, because I was a bit like, why are they all on the coach? Like, that's not normal. But anything, it actually made it better. I was thinking everyone's such like a big family here. I said just love the feeling, and I still remember that trip, that first away trip on the coach. I'm not gonna lie, I've never come. I can't remember what game it was, but I've never come home so drunk in my life. Like, never. I honestly, I texted Danny in the morning. I said, mate, they cannot come with me ever again. I don't even know. I think my missus picked me up at the time. I was thinking, I don't even remember going home. Like, but it was just, you know what I mean? Like that feeling of just everybody was together. The whole club was just one. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like it was something that I needed at my time. I was going through a bit of a rough phase with Stevenage and stuff, because I had doing all the driving and coming in and out of the team, and I was thinking, all this driving's not really worth it. I just want to be somewhere where I'm going to play, be happy. All the lads are good. All the fans are happy, and that's what happened really. That's the main reason why I did sign, because I rejected big contracts up north, because I was ready just to be at home now, and yeah, that's pretty much how I come down to Eastbourne.
I remember your debut. Was it your debut was at Ebbsfleet at home?
Yeah,
I got to think you came off the bench in the second half.
Yeah, I think I did actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you played right back. I remember your debut. We knew you were a cut above then.
Yeah, because I remember my mate. He was at Stevenage. He was playing right back for them as well. That Luke O'Neill.
Right, okay.
Scored the winner. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, we did
right
lose,
back.
didn't we? But
Yeah, their keeper was sent off that game, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Had...
It was it when he come right out?
Yeah, he came out and clattered someone.
I think he broke his leg in that challenge as well. That keeper. I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember what
happened. Definitely good memories though, guys. I tell you.
Yeah, I don't remember all this. How many concussions I've had over the years?
Oh yeah, you've had a few.
If you want to know who went in goal after that, it was Jack Baxter went in goal for them.
Yeah, there we go. Look, Bobbie's on it.
all the facts.
Brad, before we go on, is your mic very far away from you? Because he was a little bit quiet for me. Was he for you two guys as well?
Is it quiet on you boys, but I can still hear him?
It's probably because I'm on my AirPods and not very... let's have a little look.
Tell me about it after last week.
I could hear you, but you were just a little bit quieter, that was all.
I'll try and speak a little bit louder.
That's alright.
My missus will come in a minute, so what are you shouting for?
So I can cut all this bit out anyway. So.
It's great content.
Yeah, definitely.
It's what they want to see. No, Brad, obviously you were with us for 4 years. You look back at your time with us, what are some of your favourite memories?
Oof. There's loads, mate. There's loads of memories that I've got. My favourite one. I would say I was actually more like not my favourite one, but I'm gutted. The Braintree last game of the season, I wasn't even allowed on the pitch. I could just see you all celebrating. Me and Yaya in the tunnel. I think me and him just cuddled each other. We were like, we wish we could go out there. We're not allowed. But that was a good memory, because obviously just this, that relief of just everybody was together, and the whole squad and all the fans behind. It was just you know what I mean? That's what football's about.
Yeah.
It was a hard season, so just that pure relief and all that stress was all worth it, if you know what I mean. Like, because you see how happy it can make you. That's obviously a map, like all the tweets, all the photos, all the videos we were getting sent. It was such a happy time for something that was so miserable as well. You know what I mean? So there's always good things that come out of bad situations, and I feel like that's what's happening now, isn't it? Down at Borough, but you just got to ride it. You've just got to stick with it. And this is what I demanded when I was at the club. Like you guys know me. I feel like that was always a thing for me, where that's why I got on with you lot so well, because I demanded from you as well, not just from us. Yeah. I said, because without you, we're nothing. So I wouldn't want to turn up and train every day because there's no fans there. Yeah, I mean, it's pointless. I don't become a footballer to play in front of no one. Like, you are the reason why we become professional footballers. But yeah, that's probably one of my best memories is seeing everybody. I wasn't even in it, but that's for our captain to look at his squad and look at his fans and just go, that's what it was all about. Yeah, I did get sent off because that's just what I'm just an idiot.
What did you
You all
get sent
know.
off for? I don't. No
Uh,
one actually knew what you got sent off for. You sort of just happened.
I
Do we
wasn't
want to
very,
get demonetised?
Bobby, I wasn't very nice. So,
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Bobby. I wasn't 100% fit, mate, and I was very. I don't want to say I was drinking, but I wasn't because we were all drinking that day. I think we were all drinking from the Thursday result. So, but we were in training on Friday, and like Adam Murray made sure that we trained, and he said, if you don't win, I promise you now, you boys are in after the season. I don't care if we survive or not. And that's what it was. That he said, you can have your fun because he was there with us, but we're gonna win, and we can win when we're not even with it. You know what I mean? And can show what we can actually achieve.
So, so you boys owe Ian Ranucci quite a lot in that case, then, because if he didn't score, then you were
Yeah,
doing
he's a saviour, mate.
doing running.
I text him now, mate, saying you saved me running in the off season.
And there must have been something quite nice about that, Brad, that although you weren't in it, you were standing back and you were just observing the whole situation. So, I mean, that it puts it in a different perspective. But it must have been quite nice that, you know, you could see that from afar and you could sort of take in how everyone was at that time.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Like I said, I'm not one of them, you know me, I'm not one of them people who likes to be centre of attention in front of the camera all the time. I'm not really bothered about it. I had my years when I was up in the leagues, where I was just constantly in front of cameras, doing this, doing that, and just as an older head, to see all of his players go through so much trauma for so long, to then see him so happy, that's what it was all about. Like, that's what all the stressful nights, like all of us playing through injuries. It wasn't just me. Players were playing through injuries because we knew we had. This was it. If we didn't give it all, we're going down. Like, there was. If we drop 3 points, we're done, kind of thing. But that set the mentality of that. This is how we are now. We don't lose ever, and it did, and that's what happened when we were at home. We didn't lose for, was it over a year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or something silly. Like,
Yeah.
we set that mentality straight away, and that was from that when Adam walked through the door. He demanded straight away. He didn't care. He was there for 2 days, and obviously I had meetings with him, and he was like, "This is the way it is." I said, "This is the mentality that we have in this group. No one can come in and affect it." Now, no one ever did, and it was just a turn. Literally within 2 days, that trip down to Torquay, getting that point down there, just thought, right, we're playing an informed team here. It could end badly. But he goes, because I'm changing everything, change all the formations, changing everything. He goes, if we get battered down there, we get battered, that's on me. But we didn't. We showed like what true characters we've actually got in the changing room. So it's just one of them, them turning points. And you just see everybody smiles. You know what I mean? That's what it was all about. It was everybody was smiling. So
Yeah, perfect. I think you probably covered it off a bit there for our next question, but I'll ask anyway, see if there's anything else you want to add. So obviously you captained the side that pulled off the great escape. It was sort of coined at the time, the impossible escape we had, as you said, under Murray a couple of years ago. What do you think we can learn from that for this season? Obviously we find ourselves in a pretty similar situation. You mentioned having togetherness. People showing character and doing whatever have to do really to pull yourself out of it. Is there anything else you think the lads or the club or just generally we can learn from that season to use to hopefully pull off similar by April?
well, you've shown the result last night. That's a tough game to go into. Any Maidstone side that I've ever come across, they've been horrible to play against. And especially, like you covered it earlier, to go 1-0 down at half time, especially in the form that Borough are in, it's always going to be difficult. So it shows they can do it, especially even against the best sides in the league. But I feel like looking on that team now, I look at it as they've sorted out the spine of the team. Because I said it, I remember saying at the start of the season, they said there's no spine in that squad. So when you don't have a spine in the team, everyone else is relied on too much. And I feel like they've fixed that a little bit. Like you covered it a second, Miles. The midfield three are most vital in any team throughout all the leagues. If they have a weak midfield three, you're gonna get run over. You're gonna get turned over. It's either gonna be attack versus defence constantly. But I feel like that structure and that spine of Borough now is a team that goes, okay, right, we can organise teams now. We can, even when we're under the cosh a little bit, we know how to manage it because you've got players in there that are played at high levels. They know how to do it. They know how to get a result when they can. But they're going to need time to work together as well. Like you've got to think they've just been thrown in. You can't expect them to just turn it around instantly because it didn't happen in the season before. Not the season before, sorry, the first season we went full time. Like it took us 7 months because realistically, Adam didn't really change the team. Really, he brought in 2 or 3 players. He didn't bring in 7, 8, 9 players. He only brought in a few that he knew that we needed, and I feel like Tommy's done that as well now. Like he's realised, right, this is what we're missing. This is what we need, and sometimes it will take time to get them in because they're a better quality, and they're not going to just go, yeah, I'll sign a contract. This is what it is. They're gonna take time, but now you've kind of seen what they can do, and like you said earlier, having George up top in a number 9, we made that mistake last year, as we played him in the 10 at the start of the season. You probably remember, we played him in a 10 role, and he hated it. He hates it. He's not a 10. He's never been a 10, and he even admitted, he goes, never been a 10. I don't want to be a 10. I'm a number 9. I'm a goal scorer. That's all I do, and that's all you can ask for, really. So, and like you said, he's shown it last night. If you can get him going again, you're in no bother at all, in my opinion, because I know I played with him and I've been with him every single day. He's a nightmare. But he's a goal scorer and he's going to win you games, especially against the good sides. And like you said, he loves scoring against Maidstone. That's what he does. Because I got a text from him last night, saying straight away, saying, "Come on." I said, "That's the type of thing that you know what I mean. That like I love seeing that." So,
yeah, it's good to hear.
Yeah, like that, you see a little bit of a smile again. I'm thinking that's what. And I said, that's why I texted him back saying, "Come on, and let's go again. Let's go again." So because now you've set the tone, you can't come off it. You've got enough, like you said, this month's a tough month. So don't get ahead of yourselves. Make sure you're going in the right path, but not taking a foot off the gas because you've won one game, because you can be sucked straight back into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just about taking each game as it comes, and especially like on Saturday, because you're away from home and they're in a team that's in form. So, like you said, Miles, if you go down there, get a point, happy days, I'd say, as a player being in that situation before.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, Brad obviously mentioned you captained us last season, from obviously captaining us on the players on the pitch. But how important is it as a captain that you had a fantastic relationship with the fan base last season? Just how important was it?
Like I said before, mate, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's like this is the reason why we're still talking now, isn't it? Like because you can all contact me whenever you want. Like I'm never gonna hide my personal phone numbers and stuff. Like I'm very open with it because I spent every day down there. Like that was where I basically lived there. Like even my missus was like, "When are you coming home?" I said, "I don't know. I ain't coming home. I'm staying here all day." Like that's just how I was, and I love being around it. So, but having that connection with the fans is everything. There obviously has to be a boundary at some point because I didn't reveal everything. I didn't tell you everything because that's where the respect is. You know what I mean? But having you on board of what we are as a club was everything, because if we didn't have you, what are we celebrating for? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we don't support, like, obviously me as a person now, I support Eastbourne because I live here now. I played for my captaindom, but when I first joined, I didn't support Eastbourne. Like, I just played for you. Like, and it means more to you when we lose than it does to me. If that you know what I mean? Because that's your pride and joy. Like, you spend hard-earned money to go and watch us. We get paid to play there. But when obviously longer carried on, then I become captain, it meant more to me. Like this, I said, this is my home now. Like I have to treat this as nobody comes into my home and takes anything. So I protect you as my family, and if anything bad happens, I'll make sure I resolve it. So yeah, having like I said before, mate, having the fans is just it is everything for any club. And then any club can say it. They all say the same thing. If you don't get any fans, the players don't really. They're not really. They lose that enthusiasm to want to go and do like last night, go and come in 1-0 down, but go and win 3-1 is. They're like more. They can see all the happiness on social media because that's what it's run on now, isn't it? Social media and stuff like that. Of course, we all look at it. We ain't gonna lie and say we don't look at it. Everybody looks at it. Just to see everybody happy, it's what it's all about. So, in my opinion, Bobbie, mate, yeah, like I said, you guys are everything, and you still are to me now. That's why I've always, whenever you want me on, and you know that Barry just messaging me, he has to catch me at the right time though. I'm busy or I'm knackered.
They're working you hard at Hastings, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they're trying to.
Dude, that's tough too. Yeah, that league's tough. That league's a tough one.
Yeah, mate, that's horrible down there. I didn't realise.
Everyone,
These like literally just want to fight. Like,
they just want to kick you. They want to kick you each week.
Yeah, but I think they know now. I'm wearing the Puma Kings now, mate. So I said to them, as soon as I put them on, nobody come near me.
No, that's some great answers. Great answers. We said it a bit earlier on. You said you still keep in touch with George, Imran, etc. But I think and it was evident that like just you boys as a team got on like so well with each other in that Murray period. How much are you still in touch with the lads? Obviously, we had quite a few players. I don't expect you to be on, talking terms of all of them. But do you still keep in touch with most of the boys from last year before that?
Yeah, mate. I've still got Freddie the Viking. I comment on his stuff all the time. Just batter him a little bit. Just let him know. Quickie was he was one of my favourites, because I sat next to him every day.
Mm-hmm.
And he's such a what's the word? You wouldn't really, when you look at him, you think, oh, he's going to be one of these geezers and like, but he's so particular in what he does, and he's very funny. Like he's such a nice kid, and to see him come back as well last night is such a good sign because I think he's a vital player when he's fully fit. I think he's got. I said this before. He's got every attribute possible. And I always said it to him. I said he's one of the quickest guys I've ever seen. He's massive for his age. He's athletic. He's like you can tell he's good on the ball. But yeah, he's a good guy. Obviously, I speak to quite a few of the boys from last season, like Musa, Big Moose. Hello, Skip. What's going on, Skip? What are we doing now? I'm like, come on, Big Moose. My daughter loves him as well. Absolutely loves him. She always asks him, "Where's Big Moose?" I'm like, I don't know. Ring him if you want. Whenever he rings me, he wants to talk to you anyway. But yeah, like all the other players, like George and that, we message quite a lot. Who else? Obviously Birdie as well, Pierce Bird and Jack Clark. We all keep in touch really. We've still got a group chat open from last season, like with all the players still in it. So it shows how close we all are, and I feel like all of us still follow each other on Insta and still like follow where the next path is for everyone. And obviously Dom as well at Chelmsford. I keep in touch with him quite a lot. Me and him got on really well, and I know he's just had surgery, isn't he? So, but yeah, I just kept it like because I know what he can get like when he gets injured. He gets frustrated, and because he's such a good player, and because he's now got a bit of a serious injury, I kind of helped him through it because I suffered with injuries, and I know how hard it mentally can be on you. Because everyone thought I was always happy and joyful, but I had days where I would proper down, and he was always there for me. So it shows what type of leader he was, and he's younger than me. It doesn't matter. It just shows how close of a group we were. And so I said that all the boys talk. Everybody's still really close.
Yeah, that's good to hear. It's good to hear. Yeah, no, it's nice you're supporting Dom as well because I remember he had he got injured in, was it the Worthing game? It was a big game. He went off and then he couldn't play anymore. I think he was out for the rest of the season, wasn't he? So
MCL,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's good you boys are still keeping in touch. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it was a proper good
Bobby.
group.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a great group, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah. I think one of the best Borough teams I think I've seen in my time.
The
But
best
I
I've
think
seen,
the
definitely.
best
Yeah.
the best you've seen there. Yeah. That kind of leads me on to sort of about players and that. What obviously how much I don't know how much you can tell or how much you can say, but what was the secret to our success last season? Obviously we came so close to getting back into the National League, and obviously that game that should not be mentioned
Yeah.
happened. So yeah, what was
I'm
just
kind of happy you'd done them last night.
good.
Yeah.
So
Little
just
bit of
yeah,
revenge.
yeah.
Yeah,
What was the secret to it?
Probably, I don't know if it was a secret really. Probably Adam Murray's craziness. It was just nuts. Like it was always fun. Like you're never on edge. You're not like one of them like thinking, oh, what's happening now? But like everybody was on the same page. Everybody knew what was going on. Everybody knew the next step. You know, like all the staff, even the people that were in the ground, like because like we all had respect for each other, right? So, and I made a thing where you walk in and you say hello to the receptionists because they're doing their job. Like even like now, I still do it now. I drop my car off at the garage every day, and it's just one of them things like it's ritual to me now. If I go past the club, I'll go in and say hello, make sure everyone's alright, just to show my face, just say hello, because I feel like if you have everybody at the front desk working, everyone behind will work for you. You know what I mean? Because they're the face of the club. Like they're the first people that you see. They're like not people that I won't generally see them because if I'm on a match day, I'll just go straight into the changing rooms. But I'll say hello to all the fans that are there, but I've got work to do. But I feel like that was a part of the big success there. That, like I said before, the reason why I first signed, because of how close it was, and I kind of wanted to keep it. I said because that's the reason why I'm here. Otherwise, I would never have been here if it was toxic and not for me. I said I won't be a part of it. So I've been at big clubs and that's what they're like. I said I've come home now. I want to be happy and I want to play happy. But you can see that by the performances and stuff. So yeah, I'll say that's probably like the main reason everybody was just on the same page. There was no loose ends. Nobody was wondering what I have to do or how we're going to win. We knew how to win, so we went and done it on the pitch on Saturday. And all training during the week was for that game. And then the next week it might be different because it's a different team. So everyone from day one was on the same page, mate.
When you say that players on the same page, was that like? Would you say that's the whole squad? Because obviously you were a key part of it. We obviously had like a favoured 11. I'm thinking back to the first season, thinking some fringe players that might not play regularly. No one comes to mind for some reason. But you know what I mean? Like, how did Murray like keep the whole squad on the same page, everyone pulling in the same direction? Because as a player, right, you want to play. And if you're not playing, you're not getting picked, then that's going to lead you getting like naturally demoralised. So, like as
Yeah,
captain and with Murray, how did that sort of like how did you sustain the morale? I guess with
I,
everyone.
I think like obviously my part was massive in it as well because I wasn't involved all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I'd be in the meetings with Adam all the time. He would want me in there, so I knew exactly what he was planning, what he was doing, who to put an arm around, and who to just keep an eye on. And he would say to me, "Keep an eye on this player for me," because he knew he's not going to be happy because he's not playing. But that's being on the same page. So because there's obviously when you're a manager and when you're a player, we call it like there's a wall between you both because you can only be so friendly because at the end of the day I'm your boss and I'm going to pick who's going to start and you're not going to you might like me on Thursday but you're going to see the team on Friday and you're not going to like me. So there's obviously that wall there of like I am going to tell you things and going to do things and then it's then my job on a Friday or Thursday evening just to make sure that player's alright because he knows he's not going to play. You can kind of get just a bit of training because obviously you do just like 11v11s and stuff like that. So it's me straight away. I'd look around, see I knew people like the characters because obviously I was with them all day every day. So you can kind of understand who I'm dealing with. And like you said, we didn't really have fringe players last season. We had a team of starting 11, anyone that could play. So it was more difficult because we didn't have any big egos in our team because Adam would squash it straight away. And if you've got a big ego, you're not playing. You're done. Like,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, nobody's bigger than the manager, because I'm the boss and I'm going to pick the team. He would squash it straight away.
Yeah.
So that's why I always say that everybody's on the same page. Everybody's just with it. And if like 1 week you're not playing, doesn't mean you're not going to play next week, because it can be a complete different strategy to go and win.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't generally the same team every week, unless he had injuries. Like obviously I was injured for a little bit, and I had to come out of the team, so he had to replace that person. But even when I was coming back, I said to him, we were winning. I remember we were having the conversations. We were like, we were winning at the end. I said, just because I'm back, you don't change the team. Because I know myself. I said, I want to play. I want to play. I want to play every single minute of every single game possible. But I know what's best for the team. And they're on a winning streak. You don't change the middle of the spine, because that's where I would go, and that's the most vital part of the team. So that's what I'm talking about being on the same page. We all knew what it would take to win. So we didn't have sulkers. We didn't have anyone like that. Like players, you can be down, you be sad. That just shows you care. That's just not a bad thing. But they wouldn't come in on a Saturday and throw their toys out the pram. They'll be ready to come on the pitch and go and win us a game. That was the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very like selfless mentality you have. Is really crucial to build that strong like core and morale in the team. I think that was proven from particularly, I think, like players like Pavey, who he had like a really good start to the season last year, was like our main goal scorer, and then George obviously massively kicked into gear from like, October, November time.
Yeah.
Then Pavey went out on loan, didn't he, and then came back and was one of our best players. Like he scored in the playoff semi-final, scored against Worthing, so it just shows like that was definitely true.
Pavey is an unbelievable character to have, because he's such a big player to have in your changing room. And he's done it at this level for so many years. And obviously him and George are in the same position. So they were kind of not fighting against each other, but they're competitive against each other. But you've got two big characters there. So you've now got to maintain them. And to be fair to Adam, he done it in such a good way where, like you said, Pavey was so good at the start, but he was playing George in a 10. And George, because he's a big character, he said, I'm not playing there. Like, I'm a striker, I'm a number 9, I'm going to get you goals. And he didn't. Adam was very strict. He was like, no, like, Pavey's playing well. I'm not just going to drop him. But then Pavey had a little bit of a stint where he wasn't scoring as many. Then George went up top and ended up scoring every week. And then Pavey's not playing. But Pavey's such a good player. He can't just sit on the bench every week. So he went out on loan, played for Farnborough, got back into his rhythm again, come back and he's starting again. So that's how we managed it, and sometimes you have to upset players to make them better, or to get them back into how confident they are, especially as a striker, like you pointed out earlier, Barry. A striker is run on confidence, and if you're not playing, you're not going to score goals. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and for me, like I'm not a confidence player. I don't need to have confidence to have a good game, because I don't score goals. I just go around, lamp people and scream at people. But that's my confidence.
What a summary.
Yeah, that's pretty much me in a summary. Pretty much.
Explain Brad Barry in a player. I just go around and lamp people. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, I just lamp people and scream at people, and I made a living out of it.
Yeah, scoring's overrated.
Yeah, scoring's overrated, mate. I never really thought about that. Cheers for reminding me, mate.
Done him dirty.
I think you've evidenced this in your answers already, Brad, but about how, your day continued after training. It was messaging players and putting the arm around them and stuff like that. And you've always given 100% on and off the field. How important was that to demand those standards of your fellow players?
To be honest, you think it would be quite hard work because of them. Like I said, the big characters like we had in the chain, like Pavey, George, Dom, even like Moose. I call him Big Moose because he's massive. But I never really had to check up on him, like demand stuff that I'd say like more like down the level I'm at now, because it's being in a full-time routine. They're all full-time players, you know what I mean? So they kind of have that professionalism already. So sometimes I would tell them, but I wouldn't have to shout or do nothing. I'd either some of the you can ask some of the boys, I'd just give the look, and that'd be instant. Like, but that was just a respect thing because they knew don't piss me off.
I used to get that look off my mum when I was about 8 years old.
Exactly, yeah. Because I say I've got kids at home. I don't need to be coming in and dealing with kids. So I'm not doing it. I leave my home, my kids at home, to come here and be stress free from them. I don't need to deal with 30 kids here. But that's what I mean. Everyone had respect for each other. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
And because they had respect for me, and I was their captain, they would listen to me. And if I asked them to do something, they'd just go and do it. Or if they couldn't do something, they would explain, I can't do this, I can't do that. But they'd have to give a valid reason, otherwise I'll be telling them to go and do it anyway. But
That's
yeah,
it.
We had such good respect between each other, and I think that was the main thing. That's why we were so successful.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was on and off the pitch, and mainly off the pitch. All the lads were so together, even when they were going out on nights out, because we were winning. They would go out together. A big group of them would go out, and I love that sort of thing. I would encourage that because that's what wins you titles.
Yeah.
So because I've won titles, I said I used to be out when I was with Barrow. We'd go out when we win. All of us would go out. The whole team would, because you've got that togetherness and you just got that feeling. We want to win all the time now, because when we do, we celebrate. And it was such a good thing that they had. And I said, don't lose that. Obviously, I won't be going out. I've got my kids, so I'm an old man now. So I said, you boys go and enjoy yourself. You've earned it, right? But just don't be stupid. I don't want phone calls at 2 a.m. saying I've got to go and pick George up off the street or something. But
I've been accustomed to seeing some of the lads on a night out. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I bet you've probably seen him on the night out.
I've come across George on a night out.
He loves it. Doesn't he?
George don't drink. He's a
No,
good lad.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't make it the end of season awards that day, did he?
No, not at all.
But that's George. That's George. Like,
He was sober, Nathan. He was sober.
You can't change characters like that because
It's
that's
great
him.
fun.
That's his identity. Like he's just
100%.
proper striker. Like
Yeah.
they're horrible to deal with, but you need him. But he'll bring life to the changing room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you try and change somebody too much, you lose them. And I've learned that over the years of playing, and as I'm getting older now, and going, like you said right at the start, Barry, like I'm going into the stage of coaching and potentially moving towards a managerial role. I have to understand who I'm dealing with and who I'm around, and just properly reading characters and who I would want around me, and and understanding how to deal with certain players. And I've watched a thing called, with Jurgen Klopp, his podcast thing, and how he manages and how he treats players differently, but on the same level, because you can't treat somebody the same when they've got two different backgrounds. It's just not, or their identities are completely different. You can't treat them exactly the same because they're going to deal with it differently. So it's about understanding who you're with. Yeah, I'm probably just waffling on, like.
No, it's interesting, mate. It's interesting.
It's more, as I get older now, I'm starting to do things like that and understanding who I'm with and who I'm working with. And it's actually, I enjoy it. I enjoy doing stuff like that. So.
Yeah, no, perfect. Before we go more into the management sort of question, I want to sort of go back to Barry's question and also follow up. So, obviously, it hasn't always been amazing at Borough in your time there. We had a decent first season on the Blue, and then good ending to the second season, and then obviously third season we did brilliantly on the whole. But you had the I guess infamous Worthing at home interview after we got absolutely drubbed 4-0 and then 3-0 away on the Boxing Day. Just want to get your side of the story on that one. I've always wanted to ask you, was that something that you said you were going to do? What was the motivation behind it? Just you gave us some context behind that. I know it was over 2 years ago now, so if you don't remember all the details, fair enough. But just to get any of your thoughts on that, really.
I remember that interview was quite brutal.
Yeah.
But that's me.
But fair. It was fair. It was to the point, wasn't it? It had to be said. So yeah, I just want to get your thoughts.
Because it looked like I always said to the players, I said a manager can only do so much. When you cross that white line, it's up to you now. He's giving you everything. There was no excuses on that side. We had every stat, every video, we had all of what they're going to do and what they're going to be like. If you're not then going to take it onto the pitch, that's on us. And I was involved in that, and I said we've got to look at ourselves and say we aren't good enough. And there was no planning for that. It was just straight from the heart. Like, I said, this is how I feel. I'm going to tell them. They know exactly how I feel because I've just absolutely grilled them in there, and they understand what it is, what situation we're in. I said, because it's not just our lives you're affecting. I said, you're affecting all the fans that come in. You're affecting their lives. They work all week to come and watch this. I said, I don't really want to watch this. And I said, I'm here every single day. And I said, that's what kind of effect it's having. And I said, you need to really need to have a look in the mirror and realise if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be. You can just walk away. But we need players here now to go, we need to start properly putting a shift in together. And just having that understanding of what actual effect a football game has. And that's what, like we said earlier, Bobbie, isn't it? Like, having the fans on side is everything. I said, if you're... 100%. I'd always ask them, like, who are you playing for? Like, everyone has a different reason. Like, I have my kids and stuff, and I have you guys. That was the main thing for me. My kids were too young to understand what I was doing. But I would always play to please the fans, because I know how much it costs. I know all the details of where people are travelling from and stuff. I've seen it all, so I'm now on a stage where I'm like, this is what I'm playing for. This is the reason why I'm a footballer. So having that interview just made me proper clear up and probably put a point out to you guys and say, we aren't, as a captain, I'm not accepting this. And this isn't about any of the staff, managers. I said, this is us players. We are not good enough. And it needs to be said. And yeah, I am very brutal with how I think, but I think sometimes if you just go straight to the point and then everybody understands, there's no little cliches of people can take little clips from that little, he's just saying that for the sake of it. Because I even had managers message me after that and say, like, fair play to you for coming out and doing that. And that's when you know you've kind of hit the nail on the head there. You know what I mean? Like, you've told it how it is, and now everybody knows what's going on. So yeah, that was probably the reason for it. It was just straight, no pre-warning about the interview. It was just straight to, Brad, can you come outside? I said, you sure you want me now?
Steaming.
Heads on Mars, and it's just.
Yeah. I said, if I actually did I apologise. I remember I swore on it, didn't I? So, cause I was getting so wound up because I've just, you know what I'm like. I'm passionate about it, so
Yeah.
And I have to control my dirty mouth.
But I think in a way with that as well, Brad, it gave the supporters a lot of confidence because we could see what it meant to you, and we knew that, you know, as you were sort of like leading the players at the time, it was like, you know, we knew that was filtering down. So we knew that, you know, I think there were people, obviously, you know, it's like football supporters, right? And, you know, if someone plays a ball wrong, they're groaning and whatever else, you know, it's part of what the game's all about. I've done it, you know. But I think to see you come out with that passion just kind of gave the supporters a lot of confidence as well, you know, at that time, that the team were ready for the battle that we needed them to, you know, to...
Yeah.
To
100%, mate. It's one of them things like... Because obviously some teams come out with excuses saying they're not getting the back in, they're not getting this, not getting that. There was no excuses on our part. Because I reminded these lads, I said, I've been at clubs in League 1 and League 2, and we haven't got the treatment that we've got here that I did up there. You know what I mean? Like, we're receiving stuff down here which even League 1 clubs don't have. So I said, you have no excuses. Like, that's what would really frustrate me, because I feel like you're living the luxury life, but you're in the Conference South. I said, you're not in League 1 Championship level. You're not getting paid 30 grand a week, because if you don't perform now, you're not going to be anywhere. And it was really to the point of saying, lads, you really need to look at yourselves and say, is there anything why I'm not doing this and why I'm not fighting hard enough? Because I can't see a reason. And I'll tell you, and if there was a reason, I'd be straight to the point about it. And I'd be straight to Alan or Simon at the time, and I would ask them, I said, this is what we need. But we didn't need anything. We never needed anything. So yeah, that's what it was. Real I still had the respect from the boys then as well, because they were so. Because from that, I feel like from that day we kind of took a little turn. I know we obviously lost against Worthing, and we did get hammered as well, but it took a little turn. You know what I mean? The boys realised, we need to turn up now, because otherwise, cause we're getting looked at, and we are the mock.
Yeah.
We are like being laughed at by everyone. We're the laughing stock of the group. And I said, we can't be like. I said, because you'll be remembered for this, and in football it's such a short career. I said it won't change. It doesn't change overnight. Like, if it carries on obviously throughout the rest of the season, I said if you don't change it now, that's it. Your kind of career's done. And especially at this sort of level, because I'll say that Conference South level is such a vital level, because you can kick on. You've seen players from Borough go to very high league clubs. Look at Fletcher Holman now, like he's flying at Swindon, and people are now watching this level because there's so much quality there. So if you're not turning up and showing, they'll replace you straight away. They'll be like, oh, he's not. There's no point in looking at him.
Yeah.
And that's what that was that whole kind of interview thing of just saying these boys just really realise what we're doing now.
Yeah, no, it's great to hear the like accountability. I think because we get a lot of like interviews as fans, not necessarily from us, but like just generically from every club. Like there's quite like a PR interview, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we only sort of like hear what they sort of clubs want people to hear. Essentially, I'm not saying this is the case for our club, because I feel like Tommy is pretty down the line with stuff when he had interviews, and you know Adam certainly was as well. But yeah, I think it's great to as a fan to get that reassurance, I guess, that players are taking it seriously and they are sort of standing up to their actions really.
Yeah, and I'll still say that now. Obviously, I'm not in the change room down there anymore, but don't ever think they're not taking it seriously, because I can't see Tommy allowing that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? He's not going to be hired just to hire him. You know what I mean? And I know, like I said, I know the characters of Freddie, Dan Quick, George, even Josh. I know all the characters that they love it. They love being there. They want to try and play as much as they can, and they don't turn up to lose. No player turns up to lose. Like, it's never been that's not a thing. Obviously, sometimes it just doesn't go your way, and now you've got a few players in through the door, which now give the structure of the team a bit more faith. The luxury players will suddenly start to go, I can relax a little bit more, so now my game can shine. So I'm hoping it just kicks on for you boys now. Obviously, I'm always going to keep a close eye. I'm around the corner, but yeah, I feel like you said, look on to Saturday. Don't get too ahead of yourselves. You're playing another team that's in form. You've now got to be realising what can we do to affect that game.
Yeah, definitely. Just to touch back on the management side of things, because from what you've been saying tonight, just like getting your opinions on stuff, and you said it yourself earlier, like you like to look into management, you're interested in that. Is that something you see happening in the future? Obviously, still playing, right? So that's it takes priority now. But is management something you want to look into and sort of work up from there?
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely something that's on the cards. I've obviously got to do a few more of my badges. Obviously, I know at this level you don't need them, but it's always good to have them, and just to get a real insight of what needs to happen to be in that situation. Because they call it the dark side. I've been there a few times, and like with Adam and stuff. And obviously when I took over, it was only for like, what was it?
2 days.
2 days,
yeah.
2 days.
Something like that.
But I had to do vital things in them 2 days. I was on the phone for 48 hours pretty much, and I had to get rid of people. I had to get people in, and that was all my calls. Like, obviously then I got told that Adam's coming down. He rang me instantly, and he said, I want you to be my assistant for the time being until I find someone. So it was a good taste of it, I'll tell you, and I was probably lucky because we had a very, very good start. Obviously, like I said, we went a year and a bit unbeaten at home. I was probably very lucky in that aspect of it, because I was seeing the good side of it, not the negative side. So, but I'm down at Hastings now, and I do coaching down there. I don't get involved too much because obviously we've got a new manager in, and I kind of let him be. He's got to put his philosophy in and do that. But they're very intrigued of what I want down at Hastings, and they're very they push me towards it because they want to hear my voice all the time. They want to know what my opinion is on stuff. So it shows that that I'm going down that route most definitely, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. So best of luck with that.
So I think the final question now, and I'm going to leave the last moment to you, Brad. So thanks for coming on tonight. Thanks to Miles and Bobbie for joining us. Bobbie, good luck on Saturday. Have a nice journey down there. But make sure you book your girlfriend a hotel from the way back. Right?
Yeah, come on, Bobbie.
It's Valentine's Day, Bob, right? learn from a bit of experience. Me and Brad are going, no, don't just do that, right? You're in trouble if you do.
I don't know how you pulled that off, Bobbie, mate. I want to know your tricks.
Unreal negotiation skills.
Barry, that's it,
53 years old, we've never pulled that off, I tell you. It's a madness. But, yeah, so I think the final word to you, Brad, and I think the way to end this would be just for you to tell us, what does Eastbourne Borough mean to Brad Barry?
It means everything, doesn't it? I think I've made it very clear of how much it means. It's like I've always said, it's my second home. I spent most of my happiest times of my career there, and it always will be there. As you can probably see on my wall, I've put a few things up. They're the first things I got, the Borough ones. And I've put a few photos over there of all of me and the players and stuff. I've got so many shirts and that, but to me, that was my pride and joy. And we didn't actually win anything there, and that just shows to me personally, I was like, this is where I was happiest. So that's what I'd say. That Borough means the world to me. It always will do, and I think everybody knows that.